How y'all doing out there? It's Cranston Kelly, Atlanta's right-hand man for real estate. And today I want to talk to you about how to choose the best lender for your first home loan. And I have 5 different things I want you to pay attention to and look for. And we're going to jump right into that. So number 1 is the loan size. Let's say that you are looking at houses and you see a house that you've been seeing, everything that you want is around $250,000, but you have a bank that's only willing to give you $200,000. You don't necessarily have to stay with that one bank. There's other banks out there that will approve you for more if you qualify for more. So don't get stuck and see one bank and be like, all right, that's all I can do, you know. But at the same time, if you find a bank that's willing to give you $300,000, but all you really need is $250,000, stay with that $250,000 instead of trying to spend to the max. We get a little careless at that point, you know, and start doing a little bit more than what we should be doing, right? So you want to stay where you had budgeted for, right? Number 2 is going to be APR. APR is going to stand for annual percentage rate. Now, what people do when you have buyers, people, you know, what you do is normally look at the interest rate that a bank is going to give you. And then interest rate is a really good thing, but what you want to get, if you want a more accurate picture of what you're going to be paying a bank per year, and you're going to look at the APR, because the APR is going to include the interest rate and the processing fees that they're going to charge you. So you want to pay attention to that. That's going to, like I said, give you a better gauge on what you're going to be spending per year for a bank. Number 2, closing costs. Once your loan is approved, every buyer is going to go through something called closing process. And in that process, different lenders or banks will start charging you all these different type of fees. And those fees could be the origination fee, the survey fee, the title, third-party fees. So you want to make sure that you speak to a bank in the beginning, and it's definitely worth doing that, to see if they're willing to waive any of these fees or maybe even discount some of these fees that they may be charging you. Number 4 is going to be the loan term. And what I mean by that is, how long am I going to be paying on this house? Do I want a longer term or do I want a shorter term? You normally, if you want a shorter term, they're normally about 15 years. But you can go down to 10 and 8 years. Now, if you go down to the lower years, there's a good and bad to that. So at the lower the year or the smaller the number, the higher your monthly payment is going to be. But the lower your interest rate is going to be. So there's a good and bad. And then vice versa. If you go all the way to 30 years, which is normally the longest term, you're going to have a lower monthly payment, but you're going to have a higher interest rate. So those are some things that you want to pay attention to at that point. Now, number 5, and probably most important, is you want to pick a bank that has really good customer service. Don't be afraid. You know, we all look at reviews and everything. So you want to make sure that you look at the reviews on this bank. And I'm pretty sure people are talking about banks and how they treat me and with my loan for my home and everything, because I've heard it myself, you know. So, you know, you want to look for a bank that also may be convenient, may have a whole bunch of locations or something like that, or the process to apply for the loan may be easier at one bank than it is at another bank. And then also may have online chatting or something like that. And then some banks even have a personal loan agent. So that's probably a really good thing that would definitely attract me to a bank. So you want to look at those things. I hope I helped somebody out there with giving you these 5 tips. It's all about at least trying to help one person out there. And if I helped you, please hit the little like button at the bottom. If you have any questions, send me an email or put it in the comment section. I promise to get back to each and every one of you. I am an agent here in Atlanta, Georgia. So if you need an agent, it would be my pleasure to help you find your next home. Again, my name is Cranston Kelly, Atlanta's right-hand man for real estate.